Welcome to Teaching for the Culture. This is your host, Bianca Goolsby, and I'm so excited to be with you this afternoon. Look, we have a rock star educator. I don't even want to just say her name. I want her to really blow the room to tell you her name, what she's doing, her mission. Because I'm telling you, this queen that I'm doing this interview with, she's a rock star and she's killing the game and she's doing something unique in order to impact our children. So let's introduce our guest. How are you today?
Hello, guys. I am so happy to be here. My name's Ida Shuler. My kids know me as Miss Shuler, and I love the intro for me. Absolutely, that's my achievement. I want to be that bomb educator.
So, you've been featured in so many different news outlets out here in these streets, about something that you created. Can you tell our audience what you created?
Yes. So I started a mobile school service. Basically, what I'm doing with that is that I took a F450, had it gutted out, and completely transformed into a classroom where I can easily take education to the doorsteps of children. I really decided to do this because I seen a decline in my students in the early stages of the pandemic. A lot of my students desperately needed that face to face, although it wasn't possible because of the pandemic. And I really feel like a one-on-one is at a lower risk than the children being at school with 500, and many children are being forced to go back to school primarily just because parents do not have the means. Again, now the parents can really see that we are not lying about their children, that they are who they are, and guess what, and I love them just as they come. But parents were forced to become teachers overnight, and I know that's not an easy task. This is the job, this is my calling, and so something that came easy to me may not be easy to others. So with my mobile school, I'm able to address a lot of needs on different ends of the spectrum. So we do have children that completely got lost in the sauce when the pandemic came, and they didn't know how to adapt to e-learning at all. They didn't know it. They still needed that face-to-face connection. So yes, I'll be there to help them with that. Then you have kids that weren't super high, that weren't too low, but kind of stuck in the middle and really, really needed that face to face. So I'm able to help those kids. Then sad to say, there are communities here that didn't have Wi Fi, didn't have technology. And some of them, there are households that had six or more children that had to use one tablet, which was an impossible task with all these different Zoom sessions, assignments being met. And so now, hey, I'm able to pull up. I have about 10 on my bus where I can distribute the wealth and kind of help them with that. Then you have parents that say, hey, Miss Schuler, I think I can tackle this, but I don't know how to use Canvas. I don't know how to log on. I don't know these strategies that you are using in your classroom. So if you kind of give me a little guidance with that, then maybe I can help you. And then on the teacher side of the spectrum, we had parents doing all the work. So now we can't get that true, authentic vibe from the students. Like, what do they really know? Because overnight, when e-learning came, I suddenly had Harvard graduates in my classroom. So now I'm kind of able to have them on the bus, especially during assessments, and I can give a teacher a true assessment of what that child is really capable of, so that they can have a direct path to kind of continue with their education.
I love it. I'm blown away. I saw the idea and I saw, you featured in the news and I was like, oh my gosh, this is such a amazing idea. So the question, what motivated you to do this? Like, this is amazing. Like, what motivated you to do this?
I mean, very cliche answer I'm about to say, but honestly, teaching is my calling. That is me.
Mhm.
There's no way I can escape from that. As much as I get tired of it, I get overwhelmed with it, it always brings me back. So with that, it's just the fact that I had to take it to the next level. The kids needed me. And every day when I come home, even though I try not to bring work home as much, because at the end of the day, I have a family of my own that I have to tend to, but it doesn't click off for me because the love that I have for my children, it never stops. So it was just the fact that I just had to keep up with it. And I felt really horrible that I couldn't reach my children the way I needed to. And especially when during the pandemic happened, one of my students ended up in a homeless shelter. So
Mhm.
again, now teachers are becoming bounty hunters. Now we need to figure out where these students are. And the thing about it is, it wasn't that she didn't want to attend class. she didn't want to not do the assignments. Is at the end of the day, she had a circumstance that wouldn't allow her. So now what I ended up doing with that particular student was that I took my the TV out of my guest room, put it on the back of my Jeep, and I had like a little what you call those things, a jump box to plug it up, which I made like my own smart board doing it that way. And that way I was able to project the assignment that I had for her, set her a little bit back on. I had it was a bucket that I sat her on so that I can, teach her a little bit. So her mom was very appreciative that I was able to come out and help her, help her with that. So then I just started thinking, how can I do this a little bit more professional? So I had a friend, a longtime friend that I knew at FAMU, and he had a barber shop on the bus. So I said, how about if I get one of those buses and put a classroom on it? I think that'd be super dope. And I tell you, it over exceeded my expectations of the turnout when it was done. And just to think, something little old Ida Shuler did, just having such a major impact, is just blowing my mind right now.
You are a rock star, I'm telling you. It's something to definitely look up to and something to applaud. And I just had to get you on the platform so that way we can at least, let people know what you're doing and how they can support you, which is going to lead me to my next question. How can the community support you in your initiatives and what you're doing?
Okay, so absolutely. One thing with this is at the end of the day, I do service kids that this item right here does not even come by very often for them in the household. Like, this is a problem. And when I say a problem, it may become a burden with parents having to replace a simple item that we take like this for granted. So regardless of the matter, I wanted this to be absolutely free for the community, absolutely free for the children. I didn't want this to be another burden or something to put on top of those high plates that parents already had. So with that being said, I did start a GoFundMe where you all can donate. Now, I am not one of those people that sit on a high horse and feel like other ideas, other inputs are not warranted or needed, because anything that you have for me, trust me, I will put it to use. So even if you say, hey, I don't have money, Miss Shuler, but I have some time. Absolutely, I'm pretty sure it's something on that bus you can do. Whether or not if it's sorting out, record keeping, something, I'm here all for it. Then at the end of the day, the demand is getting so high that I do need other teachers that may want to donate their time and kind of help me with some of this, which would be an amazing thing to do if you do have the time to do that. If you have old books that you want to get rid of, my library needs to grow. If you have notebooks and pads and pencils that you want to donate, absolutely, I'm here. So if you do not have the means to give something monetary, trust and believe, if you just have something lying around the house, if you have some knowledge you want to drop on me, absolutely, I'm here for it. The only way that I can get better with this is by the assistance with the community. And guess what? It takes a village. So I know I can't do this on my own, and I'm not looking or trying, because I need the assistance from everybody to kind of like rally around me. Because I'm starting off with one bus, but my goal is to have a whole fleet. So let's get this going.
That's right. Yes, Queen. Yes. So listen, y'all, we need to make sure that we support this educator and support Ida and her ventures. And I'm telling you, she is really blowing away. In the Tampa Bay area, everybody knows who she is because she is really dominating and the media is really picking up on her and what she's doing. And this is a great initiative. So please make sure that you check out her GoFundMe. I will post the link in the comments so that way you can support her. And if there's any messages or anything, I will definitely pass it on. You can definitely reach out to her. I will tag her in the post so that you can support her. And I want to give you the floor. I want you to, let the people know anything that, is on your heart before we close out today.
Just again, I know, and I want to talk directly to the educators that are watching. I know this time is really hard for you all, and just don't give up on the babies. Just don't give up on the babies, because at the end of the day, it's about the children. And that's the part that I really want to make myself clear with everything that I do. I have to put the children at the forefront of everything that I do, because at the end of the day, I have two that's coming up that they have to attend Hillsborough County School District, and I just want them to be surrounded and rallied around amazing teachers that I know you guys are. And I know you guys have lives. I know the pandemic has disrupted some of those things that you have going on in your life, but don't give up, because at the end of the day, it's about the kids. And I know that's what you took this job to do. So please, please, please don't give up on these babies. Again, everybody don't have the same mind that I have to think as grand as I did, but just keep in mind that anything that you put forth to these children is making an impact. And like I said, so far in my career, I have taught 487 children out of my 8-year span. And even if I just touch one of them, just one, I know I've done my job. And I want you all to keep that in mind too. Every day it may not look pretty. Every day it may not look like what it's supposed to look like. Your administration may not have your back end. Your colleagues may not have your back end, but just understand who you serve, because he sits high and looks low, and never lose focus on that. Never lose focus on that. And just keep in mind, every time you step foot in that classroom, you're making a difference.
Amen. Amen. Well, I just thank you. You have energized me today. And I just love your energy. I love your passion. I love your spirit. And I just had to have you on here. So thank you so much again.
Listen, I thank you for having me. I thank you for having me, because again, I have a story to tell, I have a testimony to tell, and I have a mission that needs to reach as many people as possible, because it, like I keep telling you, it takes a village. And I'm glad that now you're a part of my village. So I appreciate you for being that.
Listen, you're a part of the Teaching for the Culture squad. You'll always have a place and home here. So with that being said, thank y'all for tuning in to Teaching for the Culture. And you guys have a great day. Make sure you check out her GoFundMe link and make sure you support the mission. It's about the kids.